What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked it out, right? Just making bad life choices going over to scoresandodds.com. We're got this nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly what we have project for each individual prop. Plus, for the best lines, that you get access to all the picks. Plus, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. What is Grant's Action Lounge? Well, it's my Discord where I'm throwing in all my picks each and every day. Just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Just throw it into the chat there and get on in there. We got basketball. We got a lot of basketball. I got a decent amount of picks here. Riding solo today. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Jason Tatum over 43.5 points, rebounds, assists, -115 over at Betway / over at DK. Jason Tatum has been in solid form recently. Going up against the Nets, solid matchup. No Ben Simmons, so likely the guy that was going to be guarding him won't be in the game. He's been crushing this line recently. 30-plus points in 6 out of the last 7 games. 9-plus rebounds in 6 out of the last 7 games, or 8 out of the last 10 games. So a lot. He's getting a lot of boards. He's averaging over 10 boards this month, averaging over 31 points this month, averaging over 5 assists this month. Again, solid matchup. A little bit worried about a blowout, but this line's just far too low. And then Kyrie Irving over 42.5 points, rebounds, assists, -118 over at Sports Illustrated. The second best, or the best line, I think, is over at MGM. No, it's moved at MGM. They took it off the board at -105. Still don't hate it at 43.5 over at FanDuel. It's just too low of a line here. Kyrie just been doing a ton in the offense, getting 5 to 8 boards a game, getting 6 to 10 assists a game, getting 30-plus points every single game. 42.5 is too low. No Marcus Smart in the or for the Celtics, meaning that he's probably going to have an easier matchup, while Jaylen Brown is a solid defender, and the Celtics are a solid overall defensive team. This line is too low. I did, however, take his under on rebounds, 5.5. That's just slightly too high. Anthony Simons, under 20.5 points, -113 over at, FanDuel, I believe. Anthony Simons, solid overall scorer, not a terrible player. Let's see what the line has moved here. But there's just too many guys in this offense. I know that Nurk potentially not playing. We'll give him a little bit of boost. Lines moved to -118. Still like it at that. But Simons, last 6-8 games, he's at the under 70% clip. 21, 14, 16, 26, 31, 16, 14, 20. Not a great matchup versus Memphis. Likely going to have Brooks, or if Bane ends up playing, it's a downgrade to Simons because Brooks or Bane will be guarding Lillard and Simons here. Potentially Grant, I guess. But overall, too high of a projection here, or too high of a line here. I'm rolling with the under. Josh Hart, under 9.5 points, -115 over on Caesars. One of my favorite bets on the board here. This line is hitting at a massive clip. 6 out of the last 7 games, he's hit the under, averaging 7.9 points per game so far this month. It's too high here. Absolutely love the under. Steph Curry, over 28.5 points, -121 at Caesars, -115 over at Superbook. Let's see what the next best line is. I believe it hasn't moved from Caesars. You can get it at -115 over at MGM, but most other places are moving at 29.5 here. Great matchup versus Minnesota. Well, they're an average defensive team, not as good on the outside. And Curry obviously loves to shoot up a bunch of 3. Fifth pace team going up against the first pace team. I think Golden State's still the first pace team. Curry's going for 30-plus in this spot here. He's had 30-plus in all of the last 3 games. Line, too low. Should be higher up. Roll with it. Next up, Trae Young over 25.5 points, -113 at FanDuel. I always get this one wrong. Pretty much every single time he doesn't get that. So you can fade it if you want. I hit the over and just cursed with Trae Young. Don't know why I keep betting it. Draymond Green, under 7.5 assists, -109 over at Caesars. We currently have him projected for, I think, right at about 7. Draymond, he has been in solid form in the last few games, but he's had a few outlier performances. Let me pull up his game log. 12, 7, 7, 7, 9, 10, 7, 4, 6, 6, 7, 11. So just a few random outlier performances boosting his average. He's hitting this under at a 75% clip this month. 7.5 is kind of the line where I like to take the under. Rolling with the under today. Nurk, under 9.5 boards, -106 at Superbook, -110 at Betway / DK, -113 over at FanDuel. I hit him in all 3 spots here. Well, Nurk, solid overall player. Don't think he's going to get nearly as much run in this spot here. No Steven Adams, obviously, on the Memphis side of things. Decent chance they just decide to go a little bit smaller here. Nurk already is probable, I believe. Don't know if they are going to keep him in for 30-plus minutes in the spot. He's already hitting the under at a pretty decent clip. I'm rolling with the under here. 9.5, just too high of a line. I already talked about Kyrie. Absolutely love this line here. Sengun over 37.5 points, rebounds, assists, -118 at Sports Illustrated, -110 over at DK/Betway. This line is all over the place depending on where you're at. DK, Betway, -110, just a silly line here. Has at 39.5 over at MGM and over at FanDuel, 38.5 points bet before they took it off the board. Sengun been absolutely crushing it, going up against OKC. Still no KPJ in the lineup. Still no Jalen Green in the lineup. Sengun is going to do a ton on the offensive end here. Should be a high-scoring game. Absolutely love his over at 37.5. Just far too low of a line. James Harden over 19.5 points, -106 at Superbook, -105 over Betway/DK, -109 over at Caesars. I hit in all three spots here. This line is too low. If it drastically too low if Embiid doesn't end up playing. If Embiid ends up playing, still a good matchup going up against Orlando. I know he's only had 17 in the last 2 games, but he should have over 20 in this spot going up against Orlando. I'm rolling with the over. Jaren Jackson Jr. under 17.5 points, -120 over at Betway/DK. Let's see if there's actually a better line on a spot that I can't bet at. Best line's -120 over at DK. Going up against Portland, potentially Bane back, going to decrease his overall usage. We have him projected for 14.4 points in the spot, making this one of the easiest unders on the board, according to RG projections. I really like the under. Fultz, under 12.5 points here, -114. It's moved over at FanDuel, -115 over at DK, over at MGM. Numbers too high here, hitting the under at a pretty decent clip. Going up against Philly. Philly, one of the better defensive teams in the league here. Potential blowout in this spot here. I'm rolling with the under. That's it. That's the show. Back again tomorrow. I'm out of here. Later, kids.